So we're back for part 2. Gonna start doing the brake line bleeding now that we got the camber arms installed in the rear. And that's all good. Oil pan gasket will be here tomorrow, and then we can do the rest of the stuff in the front to get it running. The only other thing we need is to bleed these brake lines. So we're gonna do that. So that was a pain in the ass. Basically, I couldn't get it to spin out of the actual nut there at the end. Let me get some lumiere. Yeah. So we wound up just chopping off the welded nut and putting our own on there. Cool. We didn't fuck up the bracket at all though, so we're still good. So now we've got nice new suspension, control arms, calipers, brakes, control arms, everything is new in here except for those bushings, but get to those another day. It's not too bad for now, and put this in there. Gee, ooh, does not move those brand new bushings. So gonna do the other side, see how fucked up it is. Alright, so the camber arms are installed now on both sides. I had to do the same thing on this side, cut it, put in a new bolt, yada yada yada, whatever. You can kind of see the only shiny bit in there is the nice new pieces. And on this side as well, they're in there. And since we measured our camber, it's exactly where it was. Soon enough, be rolling these fenders and trying to pull more camber out to make these wheels like as straight. I want it flush with that fender, you know. So that's just another step towards getting this thing ready to go. A few more things to go, waiting on the oil pan gasket, and then we can get this together and get it running. Alright, so we bled the brakes yesterday. Pretty straightforward process, so I didn't really record any of it. Basically all you need, if you don't have a brake bleeding whatever, I've always just used a bottle and a tube. You just drill a hole in the top of the cap, put this in here, and submerge the end of the hose under just enough brake fluid so that when you pump the brake pedal it just sucks in more fluid instead of air, and then you just pump the pedal until you get a steady stream of brake fluid out of here into the bottom. And make sure you watch the master cylinder to make sure it doesn't go empty. Then you can pour some of this back in. You can reuse whatever is in here as long as you use a clean bottle. So that's pretty cool. Those are all bled. Pedal feels nice and firm. And today we got the oil pan gasket, so we're going to take that and finally install it, and then should be able to put the oil in, valve cover gasket, radiator for finally putting the radiator in for good and filling it with coolant, and then we'll let it sit with everything overnight, make sure everything seals properly, the little bits of RTV dry, and then be able to try and start it tomorrow. Alright, so we got the gasket ready to go on. Oil pan, I just gave a good clean, wiped it down with some mineral spirits and whatnot. I spent a meticulous amount of time with a screwdriver going over all of these, making sure there's no old RTV or gasket, anything on there to interfere with our nice new one. I'm also going to go ahead and put some more of my steel weld on here, the Permatex, just to be sure that it doesn't come off. I mean, the coating I got on there right now works phenomenally. It's not going anywhere. There's some on the inside too, but yeah, put another coat on there, and then we'll be able to put this on with the gasket and move on. Alright, so we got the oil pan installed with the fresh new gasket and everything. Looking good, ready to go. Came with those clip things to snap the gasket up, and then the oil pan, and then just put in all the bolts. Super easy. Now that that's in there, we can put in our downpipe, return line, wastegate, put in oil and everything. Let's get this thing going. 38 minutes. That should be plenty.
You say that. I doubt it'll take 38 minutes. But knowing you.
All right.
Just stick your finger in there, huh? Oh yeah.
It's blue.
I thought all coolant was blue.
It's usually green. American cars can be orange, yellow.
Weird.
Usually the German colors are like blue and green. Yeah.
I've definitely seen it green before too, but
It's just the dye to differentiate.
that's what you start pouring. You're like, this isn't the right color. Look. Look at it, matches your car.
Yeah, really good.
Aww.
Get that blue cool. I'm gonna assume the battery will probably not be strong enough to really go for it. Let's see what happens.
Want me to film this?
Yeah, and it's just like
Are you nervous?
a little bit. I'm not gonna start it. The fuel pump is unplugged. The distributor is unplugged. Well, like with my phone, I have it recording.
Yeah.
Just hold it.
I was gonna do my phone with was super fancy.
Okay. You can have two angles.
Sure.
Dun dun dun! The big event. All right. Try cranking it.
I'll do from here if you want.
Basically, if you see any leaks, let me know.
Okay.
It's gonna leak around here on the back. Should be fine. Just to get some oil pressure.
Mhm.
Oh boy!
Are you ready, kids?
No. It has power, but I don't know how much power.
Do it.
That's unplugged. Yeah. It's dead. Didn't even try.
Take two.
See? You get anything that way? Might need this. Straight from the battery to here. So that's good. Alright, we'll come back when we figure this out. Alright, so we're back for part 2 here. So, last time we tried to get it cranking, we had the starter. It wasn't working, and then we checked the starter with power and ground, and it turned, but then when I put it back in the car, it had a horrible shortage in it, which caused power to be sent through ground, which took the path of least resistance, and I probably won't be able to see it here, but it melted this brake line on the driver's side. Not all the way through, but brand new stainless line. Now it has the protective coatings all fucked up. Hopefully it's still usable. But anyway, we're back, and we got a brand new starter We're gonna get this bad boy here put in, and then it should be fine to crank over, check for leaks, then we'll prime the fuel pump, check for fuel leaks, and hopefully we can get her started. Alright, so heart racing moment here. Start is installed, battery's grounded. We did the test with the ground cable to the motor, and I put my hand on that brake cable. No smoke, nothing. Car's got power. Whew. I think our problem is fixed. I mean, it makes sense. The only thing we played with was the starter, and stuff started getting fucky. And now we've got a brand new starter in there. Looks beautiful. Brand new starter. So now we're gonna get the keys. We're gonna try and crank this thing over. Oh my god. Alright, so we got the keys. We're gonna plug it in, give it a shot. The goal here is not to start it. The fuel pump fuse is pulled. Fuel pump will not engage, distributor is unplugged. We're just trying to crank it to prime the engine and get some oil through and check for any leaks first. Here goes nothing. Yes. We have fuel pressure. Fuck yeah. At least 4. Though, I feel like that gauge is set to stock, but honestly we kind of just installed it. 60 pounds of fuel, not sure. It is adjustable, but I don't have any leaks. Let's give it one more prime, see where it stays. Four. Right at 60 pounds of fuel pressure. Oh my god. Alright, so I'm just gonna pause this video. I'm gonna go through my list, make sure I've got everything here so we don't fuck this up, and we'll come back and try and start it. Distributor. It's gotta be plugged in, you know, normally. Alright, that's everything. That is
guacamole to the party, I'll say no, no. If you ask me bring the guacamole to the party, I'll say no, no, no. That shit's too expensive.